Welcome back, boys. Today we have one from men only. When women over 40 finally realize they've hit the wall. Let's check it out.
I want to say I deleted Hinge, I deleted The League, I deleted all of the dating apps, and by deleted I mean like not just like took off my
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about what happens when women over 40 finally realize they've hit the wall. The attention slows, dating options vanish, and reality sets in hard. What they thought would last forever didn't. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
So I'm 48 years old, and for the past at least 44 years of my life, the first emotional experience I have when I wake up in the morning is dread, doom, fear, an impending catastrophe.
Damn.
And I have a savage inner monologue to match.
The crazy thing about the whole male loneliness epidemic is that men know what they need to do to get women. It's not that hard to figure out. They just hate that it would mean
Yeah, grow taller, grow richer. Yeah, bro, it's that easy, bro. Just grow a little. And make a little bit more money as well.
conceding to a matriarchy. They want women, but they also want women in a dynamic where they have the power. It's not just about wanting women. Like, they want to have women, but they want to also be in control of that woman.
Yeah, because you need, you kind of need to have that control. Or not control, but if you're gonna be responsible, you need, how should I say it? There's like different words for it, but you kind of need to have the final say. If you want a relationship to succeed, I would say the man has to be in control. Because if the woman is in control, I mean, you're heading straight for the iceberg, bro. The woman doesn't know what she wants.
So it's less about them being lonely. It's more about them feeling like they're needing to concede the power that they felt like they were promised their entire lives. We're telling them to put in effort, whether that's effort in like their emotional maturity or the way they look, the way they present themselves, whatever. And they don't like that because they feel entitled to women.
Go overseas, bro. You will never hear some bullshit like this. I don't know what to tell you.
They feel like they shouldn't have to put in effort, at least especially not as much effort as women have to put into themselves in order to.
What effort? What effort? Like what? You have to practice your combativeness, your negativity. I've never met like
To get women. If you look at the women, or if you look at the men that women like lust after, it's usually men, like in terms of public figures. I just saw a video of Pedro Pascal. It's men that stick up for things that are right. Pedro Pascal is obviously a beautiful man, but it's men that are comfortable with their masculinity. It's men that don't feel threatened by femininity. It's men that stand up for what's right and stands up for people who are marginalized or people who don't have as loud of a voice. But these men insist on clinging on to these patriarchal structures, and it's because they want women in the context of having power over a woman. They don't want a woman just in general. They don't want a woman as an equal partner. They want a woman that they can control and feel better and stronger than. Because in their mind,
I'm not looking for a partner. I'm looking for a woman. Like what? Partner, that's such a hijacked word. Like that's what they did. Isn't that what you're saying? Like homosexual relationships, partner. It's like no, I'm looking for a woman. A man is looking for a woman. A woman is looking for a man. That's kind of how it is. There's no 50-50 in this shit. Because you won't get respect if it is 50-50. Like, what?
that's what it means to be masculine. That's what being a man means. And that's what we've all been indoctrinated into and what we've all been taught. But as much as we're trying to teach them that we need to break down this conditioning, they do not want to break it down because it's not convenient for them to do so, because it sacrifices a lot of their identity. It's not that they don't understand, it's just the truth is very inconvenient for them. Okay, the truth would be like conceding to what women want out of men would be conceding to accepting us as equals, and that's not something that they're willing.
I don't know what ideas these women have, but the thing is, like, for me, example, I let these women do whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. I don't give a shit what they do. Because you let them have free reign, you let them do whatever the fuck they want, and through their actions, they show you immediately that they're not to be taken seriously. Then it's like pump and dump bullshit.
To do.
Actually, the so-called male loneliness epidemic is far more complex than the headlines make it seem. And yes, women play a role, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. Let's be clear. The original study that sparked this epidemic talked about platonic friendships, not dating or romantic relationships. But somewhere along the way, the conversation got hijacked. Suddenly it became about how men were the problem for being lonely, emotionally stunted, or not desirable enough. That framing conveniently skips over how modern dating, social dynamics, and shifting gender roles have contributed to isolation among men. When men are constantly told they're either toxic or unnecessary, when they get mocked on TikTok for being vulnerable, when their attempts at connection are publicly ridiculed and turned into story times for likes, tell me again how women have nothing to do with it. It's not about blaming women for men's emotions. It's about acknowledging how cultural narratives, many pushed by modern feminism and pop culture, discourage healthy male connection and devalue male emotional needs. Also, let's not forget, female loneliness is often met with compassion. Take time for yourself. But male loneliness, that's usually met with mockery or silence. So no, it's not just a male problem. It's a societal failure that starts with refusing to understand the male experience, and women are part of that society. So saying the epidemic has nothing to do with women? That's just convenient ignorance.
The biggest shift after 40
You're 40, so men don't care. Sorry.
is how much more intentional we become. We've been through things. We know what we don't want. And for a lot
So you've got trauma, you've got baggage. Men have to deal with it. Sorry, what's the positives?
of them, it makes you wonder, where are all the quality people hiding?
You may know what you want until the cows come home, but that doesn't mean you qualify for it. You can have standards all day, but you don't qualify for those men. You don't have the leverage anymore to have all these standards, have all these requirements. Yeah, you've got some options, but they're not the ones that you want, they're not your first choice, and they're not the men that you were able to get maybe 20 years ago. And you're in competition for those same men with 20-year-olds, whether you like it or not. So, you don't qualify for what you want. So
Yeah, I see it all the time. These older women trying to like drag young women down. They position themselves, or they like signal that they're on their team, and blah blah blah, and they convince them to completely ruin their how do you call it, like sexual market value, I should, something like that. So these younger women get tricked by these like older like women.
it doesn't really matter what you want. It's irrelevant. You don't qualify.
One has baggage at this stage of life, whether it's a painful divorce,
Yes, but men your age aren't going to choose you. Any man with any sort of options, any man who's done absolute anything in life, any man with a normal job who's been working all his life, you don't even qualify for him. A 40-year-old man is not going to go for a 40-year-old woman. He's got much better options than you. And men tend to deal with baggage a lot better than women. Men grow from their baggage. Women have trauma a lot of the time. A man having baggage and women having baggage are two different things.
trust issues, or just exhausted of trying to start over. Most of us aren't walking in with a clean slate, and that's okay.
No, it's not. It's called hitting the wall. This is what hitting the wall is. Not getting the guy that you want or that you are able to get, and those options are now running out. Don't tell me the wall doesn't exist. This is a perfect example. The reason why you might not see it is women cope with videos like this and blow smoke up each other's backsides and pretend that it doesn't exist. This is the wall.
Challenge? Finding someone whose baggage is at least carry-on size, not a full check-in luggage.
Nice metaphor, but no, it's just cope. I'm sorry. You've hit the wall. You're 40. That's all it is.
The wall is undefeated.
To try and do mental gymnastics to try and explain your situation. We know. I'm sorry.
Situation with unresolved trauma spilling out everywhere. And then there's a fear. The fear of repeating the past, fear of getting hurt again, or even fear of wasting time.
So baggage that younger, more attractive, desired women don't have. In other words, sorry.
Person. After 40, you start realizing just how precious your time is. And then there's the logistics. Look, Dating in your 20s was easy. Go to a party, meet someone at work, boom, instant connection. But now, between kids, career, co-parenting schedules, and just trying to get enough sleep, who has time? And when you do find time, it's like, where do you even meet people? Apps? Exhausting. Social events? Half the...
Try care homes. The reality is, at 40 years old, you should have figured this out already. You should be bringing up kids with your husband, building a life. You shouldn't be dating.
What will we tell you? It's nothing like dating in your 20s or 30s.
Yes, because you're younger, more youthful, you have more options. You're more desired to men. You can cope until the cows come home, that it's your age and baggage and these fancy terms and metaphors. But the reality is, you're much more desired because you're more attractive, more youthful, more fertile, and that's what men biologically are more attracted to. And men that you want have those options.
Challenges are real, and if you're over 40 and divorced, chances are you've run into at least a few of these. First things first, the dating pool, it's giving puddle. You get out there and start looking around like, what? Wait, what? This is what's left? People are either emotionally unavailable, fresh out of a divorce, or still clinging to their ex like the breakup just happened last week. And the great few catches seem to be snapped up before you even get a chance.
Yeah, because they have younger, more attractive options than you. Of course they'll nab up the guy that you want, because he's got better options. And these women who these men can have are out of your league. So yeah, and no matter how much you listen to Steve Harvey or Oprah Winfrey blowing smoke up your backside, that's never going to change. Reality is reality, no matter how much Steve Harvey tells you otherwise, the clown.
With someone who's divorced and trying to date again in their 40s. And as a matter of fact, I had this very same conversation with a friend over dinner tonight. And you know what? Everyone is saying the same thing. Dating over...
This is the sort of rubbish that women spew to other women. And young women listen to this. Yes, say she's 40 years old. So I'm 6 years younger than this woman, and I understand more than her. I understand her situation more than she does. Watch a couple of my videos, watch a bit of Kevin Samuels. It will sort your word salad out straight away. What are you talking about? The mental gymnastics, even women in their 40s still hasn't figured out yet. The cope is real.
40 is wild. If you've been through it, you already know. If you have...
Yes, because you're not supposed to be doing it. Your time is up.
You ever watch someone run straight into a brick wall and still blame the side?
I think they kind of do get it. They just refuse to accept the reality.
Sidewalk. That's exactly what's going on with a lot of women today. They hit the wall, and instead of looking inward, they still pointing fingers outward, confused, even angry that life isn't giving them what it used to. But here's the kicker. Even after hitting the wall, they still walk around like they're owed the same options, the same treatment, and the same admiration they got in their early 20s. They think it's still 2012. They think the right guy is just hiding around the corner, as if time didn't change their own dating value in the market. Men know the wall exists. They're watching it in real time. And that's why so many men check out. Not because they're scared of strong women, not because they're intimidated, but because they've seen the game for what it is. They were ignored, laughed at, overlooked when they were building. Now they've built. And suddenly, the same women who once looked past them are asking, where are all the good men? They're gone. Or they're with younger women who appreciate them before they hit the wall, not after. The truth is this, the wall isn't the problem. The denial is. Because a woman can or can't handle your confidence. Jay packed up and left. Let's keep it real. The wall doesn't lie. It only gets louder the longer you ignore it.
You are never going to be younger or hotter than you are in this very moment. So I'm going to need you to get off the couch, bitch. Put on some booty shorts and get outside. Get outside!
People are not settling anymore. It's fucking crazy. So if you're in a relationship and you're doing the work, or you are working on yourself and you're thinking about a relationship, I want to tell you about this thing I've noticed. And I want to see if you agree with me or not. My name is Trish Law. I'm a trauma-informed life coach. And all day, every day, I help people remember who they are. That's pretty much what I do. So 20 years ago, people would just stay in incompatible relationships forever, and they would call it success. Like the determining factor of a successful relationship was the length of the relationship. Oh my God, I was married for 67 years. That was successful. That's not the case anymore. The case is becoming very different of a successful relationship. And I think I spoke to this before, but it's like where people are invested in each other's growth, right? They're invested in individual growth and each other's growth. Okay. So that is now and nervous system regulation. It's not about communication. It's not about length. It's not about any of that shit anymore. It's about helping each other become the best versions of themselves individually and as a couple, as a couple. And I'm telling you right now, people are not fucking settling. They're not. 20 years ago, they would have put up with bullshit. They're not putting up with it anymore. So say, for example, somebody begins to work on themselves in the construct of the relationship, like really, really work on themselves, and their partner decides not to do it. The relationship, it's really hard for that to work. It's almost impossible at this point. And I'm just being honest. So like, if your partner is in therapy, if your partner is like is reading books and working on themselves, like, and you're fucking not doing it, and you have taken that for granted, and you think that you're fucking steady because you've been together forever, or because there's this, that, and the other factor, these qualifiers that give you a false sense of security that's never going to shift, you better wake the fuck up. Because people are not putting up with it anymore. They're not putting up with emotional immaturity. They're not putting up with people that aren't working on themselves. They're not going to put up with people who are not going to help them become better versions of themselves, or are not going to work on themselves. They're not going to do it. Like I said, 20 years ago, they would. 20 years ago, the construct of a good relationship was like a codependent relationship. Codependency was like the litmus test for a healthy relationship. That was like healthy. It's like, well, you got to make compromises. People are like, fuck that. No, compromise is like what people do in incompatible relationships. That's what they do. Like, if you have to compromise who you are to stay in the fucking relationship, 20 years ago that would have worked. That doesn't fucking work anymore, home skillets. So here's what you need to know. Newsflash, wake up call. Your partner's in therapy working on themselves and you're fucking not? Don't be surprised if they're like, I can't fucking do this anymore. People would rather be alone than fucking settle. That's what I'm seeing. People would rather leave a marriage that puts them into copious amounts of self-betrayal. And here's another thing. Just because it isn't bad doesn't mean it's good. This doesn't mean like that the relationship is in a terrible place. It means that there is absolutely no growth in the relationship whatsoever. And it's not dramatic and they don't fight. And it's kind of this like almost invisible tension that people are no longer willing to settle for. They're not going to do it. They're not doing it because they're realizing life is too short to fucking settle. And they rather do it by themselves than stay in a relationship with somebody who refuses to fucking grow and change. So that's my little PSA for the day. I don't know. Maybe it'll be useful. And maybe it'll be a wake-up call. Don't kill the messenger. I just call it like I see it. Either way, we'll always be talking about it. If you have questions, just drop it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I love you. I see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
So this woman came out and said, people aren't settling anymore. 20 years ago, they would have put up with the BS. Now they're not. And you know what? That sounds empowering at first, until you realize what today's not settling really means. See, back in the day, people weren't settling. They were committing. They were building through the hard stuff, figuring it out together, and understanding that real love wasn't about constant validation or perfection. Not settling is code for I want someone who will meet my 47 non-negotiables, read my mind, heal my trauma, and still take me to Bali on a budget. Let's be honest. It's not that women stopped settling. It's that too many now think they deserve more while bringing less. They call basic expectations standards, but expect loyalty from men they barely respect. They'll say they're not settling for a man who makes $60K and has a kind heart, but they'll chase a man with money who won't even text back. 20 years ago, putting up with BS meant staying during tough financial times or when life hit hard. Today, BS is he asked me to split the bill, or he didn't plan our third date around my horoscope. Come on now, this isn't empowerment. It's entitlement. Here's the truth. The ones who say they're not settling often already settled for the wrong ones in their prime. Now they're older, have more baggage, and are still looking for Prince Charming on a discount. So no, it's not that people are done settling. It's that too many are still chasing fantasy and calling it self-worth. Meanwhile, the men who were once overlooked, they've moved on, and they're not coming back.
Healthy men who sit more in their masculine energy, the one thing they search for in a woman is peace. A woman that can ignite that, a woman that can bring that into his life. Because think about it, when a man is so much in his masculine energy, he's trying to build his life. He's trying to create a life for himself that's solid, that's stable, you know? And having a woman who's chaotic will derail that. So every time you meet a man, always ask him, what do you look for in a woman? And his answer really will tell you a lot, because every toxic guy I've ever asked that question to
Be a part of the piece, not a piece of the problem.
always had the most ridiculous answers in the world. But healthy masculine men only want, majority of them only want this one thing, and that's literally peace.
The problem with this, though, is that if a woman asks a man this that is interested in her and his answer is that he wants peace, that woman is highly likely to not take that well. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because a lot of women that hear that you want peace, they interpret that as you don't want her to have an opinion on anything. You don't want her to bring things to you that conflicts with what you already believe or think. But that's not what healthy men mean. What they mean, really, is that they already have a peaceful life. He wants somebody that can enjoy that peace with him, that he already created. He just doesn't want somebody to come in and ruin his peace. I highly agree that men should be looking for this. I just don't think that men are going to go very far if they are verbalizing this to women, because women take it the wrong way, unless they're willing to listen to this, and then they'll understand.
So this woman literally said, healthy masculine men are just looking for peace in a woman. And honestly, that's probably the most accurate, just maybe. The problem isn't that men stopped being masculine. It's that too many women stopped being feminine.
I want to say I deleted Hinge, I deleted the league, I deleted all of the dating apps, and by deleted I mean like not just like took off my phone like home screen, like I fucking deactivated my accounts. You want to know what my last straw was? When I matched with a guy that was good looking, obviously, and we had a conversation. His prompt was, together we could fight another couple. Now I was like, you know what? All right, let me fucking try this, okay, and see how it goes. Knowing damn well, like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm like, he's good looking. Let me try it out, okay? He liked me, and I just like went through his prompts. He was giving me nothing, and I was like, let me see. So I go, what if I don't want to fight another couple? He said, well, do you want to love another couple? I said, I roll in person. And then I responded something like, well, why do I have to fight a couple? Or like, why do I have to, like, what? I was just hoping that he would be like, haha, yeah. So, hey, what's up? My name is...
Bro, trying to find a woman like online, it it made my hair fall out. No, like it's such a, for me, I've had much better experiences in person, because you don't see the small little details over the phone or over text or over the computer. You see so much more in person, and you can see the good people and the bad people that are, you know, good for you. This whole like texting shit, it's complete ass. It's garbage. I don't like it.
Kept going with the prompt, the stupid fucking prompt. And then that moment, I literally unmatched and I deleted my apps. And I said, this ain't for me. And I'm so glad that it took me how many years? 4 years to actually like deactivate the fucking apps. But like, guys, it's not it. It's not it. And I know some people have met their fucking love of their lives on like Hinge. Like, what I have to say to you, congrats. I just don't think that will be me. I am a very huge personality person. So if you can't banter with me, if you're not cool, funny, like with the vibes, I won't be attracted to you. Like, it's just how it is. You could be ugly, but like seriously, like mentally stimulating. And we could get somewhere. Obviously, there's certain things like I'd like my man to be attractive. I like to look at him and like want to jump his bones, and that will come too if you have a great personality. Don't get me wrong, but there are some things that are just like non-negotiables. You know, funny. I like a tall man. Sue me, fucking sue me. And yeah.
I mean, a lot of dudes get this wrong. They think they can negotiate attractiveness. You can't do that. So yeah, but she can have all her wants and needs and the fucking entire list of what she wants for a man, but I mean, is she gonna get a man? It's up for debate.
I just deleted the apps. That's all I wanted to say. The whole fucking rant was just to say I deleted them, and I feel good because now I'm not just like having these like scary, stupid conversations with men that are like cute and being like, oh my god, there's no one out there for me. Like, no. Maybe just live your life the way that the people did in the olden days. Because honestly, having those stupid conversations would make me more anxious and like scared about dating, because I'm like, oh my God, there's really like no one out there. But I think it's just not a good way to do it. So I'm glad they're off my fucking phone. I feel like a weight is lifted off my shoulders, you know? And it's also like, whenever I was lonely, I would go to the dating apps to like see if anyone was like hitting the vibe, and it just never was. And I'd always get disappointed. So like, get that shit off your phone. Just take it from me. Get that shit off your phone. It ain't worth it.
So this woman literally said she just deactivated all her dating apps. And not in a I found love kind of way. More like, I'm exhausted, bitter, and tired of the circus kind of way. Let's call it what it is. Modern dating for a lot of women isn't going the way they thought it would. They expected Prince Charming in their DMs. But what
They get access to these, top tier guys in their eyes. But the thing is, you think they, like, how do these men treat these women? These men, they get all these women, I should say. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just an attractive, modern woman. These dudes, at the end of the day, do want to find a feminine woman to start a family with. I hope. I hope they don't just waste their fucking time always pumping and dumping these women. Not really progressing when it comes to family. But these women, they chase these top tier dudes, but the thing is, they're not top tier themselves. They don't offer these men what they want, or at the time they do, which is their bodies. But they have options, and the thing is, even if you are a little bit out of line, boom, you're out of the roster. You get replaced by a new one. It's and it's extremely damaging for the woman's mind, really, to be treated like this. But the thing is, they kind of do it to themselves, right? So yeah, that's that.
they got instead was a reality check. And here's the kicker. The dating app graveyard is full of women who thought they could outswipe accountability. They say there's no good men, but ignore the fact that they ghosted decent guys for a little more spark. They say men don't take dating seriously, but overlook how they treated every first date like a free therapy session or a job interview with 25 trick questions. And now, frustrated, talking about men are trash after giving attention to the same types over and over again. Deactivating dating apps isn't the flex they think it is. It's a white flag.
Let me guess. Tall, sleeved up, with tattoos, treats them like shit. It is what it is. Women, like these types of women respond to that shit. And men are adapting. They're seeing what works. Not like they don't listen to these women and what they say about their delusions and like Disney movie fucking ideas about love. They see exactly what women respond to and they adapt. So
It's the realization that swiping left and right doesn't lead to love, especially when you bring the same bad habits into every new conversation. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If dating apps aren't working for you, maybe it's not the apps. Maybe it's you.
Okay, I went on a date with a guy who plays in the NFL. I had met him a few months back in LA at a party, and at this party we had exchanged numbers with each other. After that night, he would message me all the time for months, and I would just never reply.
She has this like TikTok accent. You notice that like a lot of these women, they like how do you? Oh my God, Becky, and then they speak like this, bro. And like, how can you take a woman like that seriously? Like I've met many different types of women. I'm gotta say, like the best ones are the like sweet, more like shy, feminine type of women. Not these like TikTok brain rotted women, bro. I've had women talk to me like they say the most like trash memes and use the most trash slang I've ever heard. And I just have to step back and look, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just speak to? Yeah, man, social media did like it's incredible the amount of damage this shit has done.
Replied because, as you guys know, I just have bad luck with these people. So then one day I was in this spontaneous mood, so I finally decided to reply. We ended up texting back and forth for a few days, and then he asked me out to dinner, and I had said yes. He told me that he would pick me up for dinner, and I had told him that it was fine, that I would drive myself. And the reason I wanted to drive myself was because if anything went wrong or if I wanted to leave, I can just drive myself home and not have to worry about anything. So then the day to go out to dinner arrives, and I'm all dressed up, ready to head out the door. And all of a sudden, I just felt like not going anymore. I don't know if that has ever happened to you, where you get ready and then you just don't feel like doing anything. That is what happened to me. After I decided that I wasn't in the mood to go, he had texted me a picture that he was already there waiting for me. I think because of like my past dating experiences, I was just not feeling it, and I was kind of scared of what was going to happen, so I just did not show up. The day after we were supposed to have dinner together, he texted me again, and he still wanted to take me out to dinner. At this point, I was like, you know what? I already didn't show up to dinner. This guy has been trying to text me, so why not? So I met him at this restaurant, and it went really, really well. We were talking, getting along, we were clicking and everything. It was going super well, and we actually stayed until the restaurant closed. We were the last ones there, just chatting away. The day after that, he had asked to see me again, and because I had such a good time, I was like, sure, why not? So this time he picked me up and he took me to Nobu. The whole time we were at Nobu, we were just talking away, getting to know each other, just having such a good time, laughing. Food was good. While we were having dinner, he did lean over a couple of times trying to kiss me, and I kind of just acted like I didn't know what he was doing. I would like turn to the side or kind of laugh or continue the conversation. I was trying not to make it obvious.
A lot of dudes like have problems knowing when a woman likes you. If you even have to question that, I brother, I have bad news for you. The thing is, you'll know immediately. Or like, you'll know when a woman fucking likes you or is interested in you. The shit is obvious. Or am I tripping? Like what?
That I didn't want to in that moment. So then we leave the restaurant and we're waiting for his car.
I've been in situations I was like oblivious. I was such an oblivious dude, bro. I was with a woman one-on-one, and then boom, like I was just talking, blah blah blah, talking about some bullshit, and then boom, something fucking snapped in the woman. She starts fucking ripping my clothes off and shit. I'm like, damn.
And while we're waiting for his car, he was like, oh, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't care, whatever you want to do, I don't mind. Something fun, you know, let's do something fun. And he's like, let's go to the strip club. And I was like, fuck it, let's go to the strip club, I'm down. So we ended up going to the strip club, and that's how we spent the rest of our night. So then the day after
get that cross off your neck.
after that, he messaged me again asking to see me, and I was having so much fun with him, I was down. So he picks me up, we went on a hike that morning, and then later that night we went out to dinner again. While we were at dinner, he had asked me if I wanted to go over to his place. He was like, if you don't want to come, it's fine, but I do have something waiting there for you. And I was like, obviously curious what it was, so I said yes. Once we got to his house, the first thing that he did was give me a tour of his house. And once we got to his kitchen, I had seen his chef there with a table filled of different desserts. It looked so pretty. There was flour. His chef leaves and we sit at the table. We try all the desserts and we're there for hours just talking, trying all these different desserts. While we were there just hanging out, hours had passed. His friend ended up calling him saying that
I hope this is not a fake story.
He needed a ride. So he had asked me if I wanted to go with him to give his friend a ride or wait at his house. And I decided to wait at his house because he told me that he wasn't going to be long. So I was like, I'll just wait here. So he leaves and I sit on the couch just scrolling on my phone. About 10 minutes later, I want to say, he calls me and he was like, hey, change into something comfortable. When I get back, let's watch a movie. And I had told him I didn't bring clothes, you know, because I didn't plan on staying there or anything. And he was like, oh, like, you're right. Like, just go into my closet and grab something to wear so you're comfortable. He also told me I could take my makeup off, freshen up, do whatever I wanted to do. So I go into his closet and I grab just one of his big t-shirts, put it on, and then I go in his bathroom to take my makeup off. That way I'm comfortable. It was already super late. It was like 3 a.m. I go to his sink. and I see all these bottles of like face wash and creams. I have super sensitive skin, so I didn't want to use anything that would break me out. So I was looking up what these products were and if they were safe for my skin. And one of the products, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, it was called imiquimod or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but I looked it up and it said that it's used to treat genital warts. And that scared me right there. I did get scared, so I just changed into my clothes and I left.
Oh, what the fuck? There is no male loneliness epidemic. I'm only hearing women talk about this. Yeah, there is. The death of masculinity and brotherhood in general has left a lot of men alone. And then they start doing crazy shit and having crazy, stupid, ignorant opinions about everything when it comes to politics and dating. And we men aren't lonely. We just that's just women coping and gaslighting to deal with their own loneliness. Yeah. I think a lot of men are put in a shit situation. They want to start a family. They want to find a good woman, but there's none around. So a lot of dudes are going overseas. We're not lonely. We're sick of their bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of men that are sick of bullshit. Ooh, here we have one. Stop simping, and these women will fall in line. Too many desperate men boosting women's egos with their relentless simp. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like a lot of the things, majority of the shit is from these simps, bro. These weak men. There's a reason why these women are the way they are. Is because these weak men treat them like fucking queens, like they're fucking goddesses, right? Give them all this fucking money and attention for what? They get nothing in return. And that becomes like the default standard way they treat men. And but anyway, boys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I catch you boys on the next one. Take care of yourself.